up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiff with the T. Happy New Year. I know you guys missed me. I missed you guys. I couldn't wait to get back up here and to be with my T squad again. Let's get into this video, baby. And before we get started, make sure you give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below, and leave me a comment. Let me know what your New Year's resolutions are. Let's talk about that, and let's talk about this video.
How long is your longest relationship?
2 years.
When did it end?
A year ago.
Who ended it?
It was mutual.
It's never mutual. It's never mutual. So either we're gonna have a real conversation or I'm just gonna, come on, it's never mutual. Who ended it?
It actually was mutual.
It's never mutual.
Yeah.
Never mutual. See, I'm already seeing the issue here, but I don't know if you see it.
What's the issue?
No. We do it my way, not yours. It's never mutual. Who ended it?
I mean, we were like...
The likelihood of you and Roger coming to the house on a Thursday at 5 o'clock and saying, you know what? I think we should end it. And y'all on the same page at the same time. That's mutual. No. There's a problem, there's a breakup, come on.
Yeah.
I
mean, we were just like arguing a lot, and like we just both decided that...
How many times have you guys broken up before the final breakup?
A couple times.
How many times?
Yeah, it was kind of like...
How many times did you cheat?
I never cheated on him.
You never had sex with another man?
No.
Never had sex with another woman?
No.
You never gave your number to a man in DM?
The only time I did that was with clients.
So if you
when they wanted to come in.
So if you were in a happy, committed, monogamous, fulfilling relationship, you mean to tell me your text messages with your ex would have stood up to him just going through and looking at them?
It didn't really have much to do with that. I mean,
I'm just saying, ma'am, you know what I'm saying is women often think cheating is having sex, and you guys often flirt with men. Y'all have men up on deck and everything else. I'm not new to this. But at the end of the day, we move forward. You're 28, you're a barber.
Yes.
Seriously.
He was definitely intimidated by my job. That's for sure.
Bro?
He didn't like the fact that, you know, I was cutting men's hair. I think that kind of...
How old was he?
2 years old.
So basically what I'm hearing is that her man was insecure, and she somehow made him feel insecure in the relationship because of her job. So maybe a lot of arguments started because she's around men all day at work. There's not very many female barbers. We know what the barbershop looks like. So it's a case of two people being incompatible because one is not willing to let go of the thing that's causing arguments. So now I understand why she says it was mutual, because if two people are just always butting heads and it's not working, it doesn't necessarily mean either one is at fault. Is he at fault for being insecure? Well, no. There are things that she could have been doing to make him feel more secure in the relationship. Is she at fault for being a barber and being around men all day? No, not necessarily, unless her conduct was actually the problem. Was she engaging in inappropriate conversation or sending men signals that she's available for something? Is he at fault for being insecure? Not necessarily, because he could have good grounds. So there could be a mutual understanding between them that, okay, this is just not working out. You're not going to give up this. I'm not going to give up that. And maybe we should just go our separate ways. I can understand that.
2 years older than me.
What do you do for a living?
Insurance.
Okay. We'll come back to that one.
Okay.
But if you had to say, you're 28 chronologically, how would you say you're emotionally?
Did you guys hear that? Did he just come up with a new question to ask these women? You're 28 chronologically, but how old are you mentally? Now that's the real question, okay?
I don't know. I would say a lot of people tell me I'm mature for my age.
Okay. For 28?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Or like, yeah.
28, man. In 1940 or 1950, you would have been married and probably had 3 or 4 kids by now. You said I don't know to major things 4 or 5 times. So the people who are telling you you're mature must be in junior high. It's not an insult, man, but I'm asking you important developmental questions. First, I asked you about marriage. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe one day in the future, and it turns out you want to be married by 30. That's 2 years.
I feel like there are some things that I want to work on mentally before I get married.
That's fair.
I've been through a lot, so I want to make sure that.
Marriage? What's the purpose of marriage in your opinion?
Companionship, security.
You buy a dog for companionship. You get an alarm system for security. Family.
Yeah.
Children. Are you prepared to be somebody's wife and their mother and somebody's mother?
I think that I'm still working on myself, emotionally and mentally. Definitely.
The answer is no.
Yeah, I'm not ready yet.
All right.
No.
So, are you in therapy now?
No, I'm not in therapy, but I listen to podcasts, self-help books.
No, podcasts don't do shit. You need therapy. Because, man, let's start.
Yeah, podcasts, self-help books, YouTube videos, stuff like that. It's not really tailored for you, so you can't count that stuff. If you say that mentally you need some help or you need some work, then you need to be with a professional and someone who can see you for all your flaws, your background, everything that comes with you as an individual, as opposed to someone who's just speaking generally.
Let's start from the beginning. The clock.
Yeah.
Women, the clock makes decisions for you guys. And at 30, so like let's say you were emotionally mature and ready, and you met a guy who wants to be married, marriage-minded, your kind of guy. How long do you think from meeting him on day one do you think it should take before you're engaged?
I would say a year.
And how long for being engaged before you marry?
One thing that I really like about her is that she thinks before she answers. She doesn't just say anything. She's really thinking about the answer. Sometimes she does say, I don't know. But I think that people say, I don't know, when they don't really know how to express themselves. It's just that they don't know how to articulate what it is that they want or what they're trying to say. So they say, I don't know. But I love that she's thoughtful and she's pausing after he asks a question. That to me is a sign of emotional maturity.
I wouldn't want it to be that long. So maybe like 2 years.
2 years of engagement? Is that what I'm hearing? 2 years of engagement?
Yeah, actually, yeah, 2 years.
Okay, so a year before you engage, 2 years engaged. Buy a dog, die alone. That's 3 years, man.
Oh no, I mean like 2 years. Like the first year would be engaged and engaged for another year. The plan, everything.
Okay, that's why I asked twice. But either way, that's still 2 years. What do you need to be with somebody a year, engaged for a year? Are you going to be paying for your own wedding? Are you going to do it just as a piece, or are you going to have a wedding?
I definitely want a wedding, for sure.
Your mother and father got the money to pay for that?
My dad, he's an engineer.
Your mother and father have the money to pay for that?
Well, my mom's not around, but she
Your
passed
father's,
away.
you're your only child?
No, I have 2 younger brothers.
So your father's going to pay for your wedding?
I've never talked to him about that, actually.
So the answer is?
If I asked him, he
So if
would.
your father doesn't pay for it, who's going to pay for it? See, these are grown-up questions.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I guess I want to get. I would have to, I guess. My husband or his family.
Yeah, that's not his responsibility. Not his responsibility.
Yeah.
You're a modern woman. You're not a wife. You make decisions based in fear, scarcity, and lack. I mean, come on. If I met a perfect guy, the right guy, it's going to at least be 2 years before I'm married. Because I want who to see you get married? Your clients?
No.
Who? Your mom ain't going to be around. Who? Your family?
No, it's for me.
It's for your ego. Do you make
Why do you say that?
wedding? Do you make enough money to afford the kind of wedding you want?
No, definitely not.
Then what the French toast are you talking about? See, that's what I wanted to show you guys. This is not a black woman thing. This is a modern woman thing. You average ass women have these fanciful visions. You're not a wife and you want some guy who's to wait for you to be perfect on day one while you're in process. Cool. But 2 years is too long.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has to pay for a wedding. To impress who?
Well, I mean, if I wanted a wedding, I'd probably ask my dad for that.
And he's
If I
still gotta
can't,
pay
if I don't
for
have
it.
the money.
And what about the children,
But-
and family, and everything? See, that's what I mean. Women today want weddings. They don't want marriages. They are worried about impressing other women. This is insane.
I mean, that's not necessarily true. I mean, I guess it would have to also be a discussion between me and my fiance.
It's a discussion between the bank. You don't make enough money to pay for this.
Yeah.
How much do you think a wedding would cost?
I don't know exactly. I know it's a lot of money. I don't know how
So
much.
you would take that away from your family and your house?
I mean, isn't that traditional? Like traditionally.
You're not a traditional woman. Are you a virgin?
Okay, so I think a lot of people make this mistake of they have these hopes and dreams and these ideas about how things are going to be, but the reality of the situation is this woman does not make enough money to fund this wedding that she has envisioned in her mind. So you have to scale it back and have your vision meet reality. So there's a middle ground. I don't agree that she has to completely cut out a wedding, but some things that she can be doing now is she can be saving. If a wedding is truly what she wants, then she can be saving for that now so she doesn't have to rely on anybody else in the future. And don't get so caught up on the fancy, flashy wedding. Worry more about the work that you need to do on yourself and the work that you're going to have to do on your marriage in order to make it work. And a lot of people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on weddings. Then they start off their marriage with this huge debt. And they haven't had the proper conversations about money. And that's automatically putting your marriage in peril, in turmoil, just because those two things together do not mix well. So not properly planning, going into a marriage, not having the conversations, and then the debt, wow, that's a lot to handle at the start of your marriage. I think a lot of people think of marriage as just something you do. It's a party, it's a reception, it's a big cake, a fluffy dress. That's the picture of husband and wife. But that day of marriage is just one day. Everything else comes after that one day. And it's the everything else that your energy, that your focus, your resources should be geared towards. And I think that he's just trying to get that idea across, and for good reason, because a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about marriage. Honey, it is no walk in the park.
No.
You're not a traditional woman. And I'm saying this, man, you women want traditional outcomes. Weddings, white dresses, and you're schizophrenic, psychotic non-virgins with trust issues.
Interesting.
Not interesting. You can't afford to pay, like most women, you can't afford to pay for the lifestyle you want. So a man is going to have to step into it. Either your daddy or your husband's family. I wish, if you had a man who was a thorough man, what you want us to pay for wedding with you, nigga? Go find another woman. Something wrong with her.
I don't know. I'm still working on myself financially and emotionally and mentally. So
But the first thing I asked you what the marriage is about, you said companionship.
Oh yeah, like partnership.
There's no you can't make this shit up.
I mean, I would love to build an empire with the man I'm with.
Build an empire, lady. You cut hair for a living.
Yeah, I mean,
empire what?
You couldn't make
I have other goals like real estate and.
Oh Jesus! She said it. Real estate, right?
Why?
Real estate. She's the stylist, the stylist with the real estate. You can't make this shit up. I want an empire. An empire,
Yeah.
really? How much of the empire would you make annually? How much you think you'd be making annually? You and your husband together, how much do you think you'd be bringing home in this empire?
It depends on the man. I mean, it depends on his job.
But you got the empire. When it's what you want, the empire, how much?
I don't know, maybe like 100, 200.
100, 200 as an empire?
I mean, it could start there, and it could always.
No. The empire. Empires are $100,000.
Yeah.
What state do you live in?
New Jersey.
$100,000 in New Jersey?
Well, no, it's
gonna
be a lot more than that. Maybe like 500.
Does he have to laugh at everything the girl says? I mean, to be fair, these are questions that she hasn't put that much thought into because she currently does not have a man. She's trying to get back on her feet. She's trying to sort herself out. And it's hard for you as an individual to sit there line by line and say, okay, my wedding dress is going to be $500. All right, my mortgage should be this much. My car insurance is going to be this much. Once I have a husband, this is how much I'll spend on groceries. This is how much I'll spend on household bills. You're not going to do that because it's just you. That's a hypothetical life that you're talking about. You're not thinking about the hypothetical questions when your reality is you're single. So give the girl a break. I don't like when guests come on his show and he laughs at them sometimes about things that, of course, they haven't thought about it, because what's the point of thinking about things that may never come to pass? It's like, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it type of thing.
Working for somebody else? Where am I getting it? In the government? Where am I getting it?
Entrepreneurs galore. Wealth. Empires. Man, you do hair. You cut hair. You're a barber. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're not paid. You're in New Jersey. Sound like you're right along the modern path, but you want a man who's a husband to delay starting his life with his wife for 2 years so you can have some wedding that you can't afford to pay for, your family ain't gonna pay for, so your father has to take out of his retirement, or your husband is you're gonna have to go into debt for it. Then you want an empire, you're gonna start off with wedding debt. And who's gonna attend this wedding? Who are these people you're gonna impress? Because we're talking $10,000 on the low end.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, modern women have been fed this Disney fantasy where you just sit there like, well, that's what I want. That's what I want. And do you realize that you go out on the streets of New Jersey and look to your left, look to your right. All the single women want the same thing you are, but you're not virgins. And you're not wives. You're not even emotionally ready for a real relationship.
Yeah, I've been through a lot that I need to work on emotionally.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But if you were a vehicle, okay, even if you were a Ferrari, if you've had something, what kind of price could you put on it? With all the stuff.
Myself?
On the stuff if you were a car, what kind of price? If you were a car, let's say you were a Mercedes.
Okay.
Let's say you're a 500 series Mercedes, but with the stuff you've been through, what price would you put on the 2020? What price would you put on that Mercedes? Damn sure can't be factory new.
I get what he's saying. Ladies, we definitely need to ask ourselves the hard questions of what am I worth? What do I bring to the table? How can I raise my dating market value? Men also need to be asking themselves these hard questions as well. If you want a woman who looks like this, or you want a woman who's gonna stay home and take care of you and your kids, what are you willing to bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? What are you willing to change about yourself? What are you willing to work on? Things like that. I think I'm gonna end the video there just because it's kind of depressing watching this. I feel like he's giving her this hopeless feeling of, I don't know where to start. And it's possible to get the man of your dreams, but you have to really ask yourself, on the other side of that dream, that man over here, your Prince Charming, what kind of woman is he looking for? And vice versa. If you are Prince Charming, then what does Cinderella look like? Or whoever the princess is that goes with Prince Charming. I don't freaking know. But that's basically the gist of what he's saying. Ask yourself the hard questions. Dig deep. Your past relationships are going to be the best indicator of what you need to work on, whether it's communication, whether it's insecurity, whether it's your health, whether it's being submissive or listening or showing empathy or whatever. If you evaluate your past relationships, that's really going to propel you forward. Use that as a teaching tool so that you can grow, you can evolve, and things like that. So let me know what you guys think down below. I never watched these videos beforehand. I didn't know what was going to come of that video until just now. The point that he's trying to make, I think that mindset he's trying to get us in is a great way to start off 2022. So I hope that video was helpful to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. As usual, I will see you in the next video.